I wanted to talk a little bit today about sprouting seeds. Of course, the main seed that I sprout is mango seed. And what I have found is that putting seeds in this kind of thing, this is hardwood shavings that a carpenter friend of mine drops off from time to time, is actually a great way of sprouting seeds. Unfortunately, the only mango seeds that I had late in the season were Neelam seeds. These are not ideal rootstock, but I'm desperate. What I did is I just put a lot of seeds. This one happens to have sprouted already. That's gone. But put a lot of seeds just barely covered with this these shavings and watered it. It stays damp, and there's also air pockets that stay in there. So it seems to be really good for sprouting seeds. So, I can just dig up some of these to see what's going on. So here we have a couple of Neelams, and this is really easy. Whoop, got a little one there. Really easy to pot up into a 1 gallon. We have the entire root system, pulls out very easily. So this will go into 1 gallon soil. So we've got, here's one. This is crazy. Neelam has been out of season for a long time, and it's just starting to sprout now. You notice all of these roots are going down, so I'm going to put this back in the same position. Have those roots go down and the sprout going up. This is even funnier. Look at all these roots. It's like, reminds me of Man of War or something. Just tons and tons of roots, but no sprouts. And I'm looking inside here, and that is not a successful seed. It's rotten inside. It's very successful at rooting, however. So that doesn't go back in. Let's see well, this one is not a Neelam seed. And just, these roots have gone a lot of different places. This obviously is an older seed that the roots spread out all over the place. So I'm just gently pulling these roots up. Might lose a few little pieces of them, but it's got pretty much the whole root system. Just keeps on going. Boy, it's a traveling root. So anyway, this looks like it's probably a Valencia Pride seed, and there's 3 shoots going out of that. This is not the ideal situation, but what we can do is just keep the roots and eliminate these 2 wimpy shoots. And so hopefully that will make a decent rootstock. So anyway, that's what's going on with the mangoes. Got a little potting up to do. Here we have, this is Kaimito seedlings, and these I just stuck in the ground last season. Well, not in the ground, in a pot, in soil. And so these should be potted up into 1 gallon plants, and hopefully they'll be ready for grafting sometime in a few months. This is a low energy kind of way of sprouting. Just throw some soil into a pot. I always make it much more shallow than the 3 gallon pot would normally be, because these plants will be going into 1 gallon pots. This is not ideal, but it does get some seedlings out of the mix. This particular pot, I put something in it, nothing is sprouted. It can't tell. It looks like probably sugar apple or custard apple seeds. So yeah, not successful here. Here's another shavings thing. It looks like a sugar apple seed. Just starting to get the first one of those plants sprouting. And then another thing I did is this this is Canistel seed. And Canistel has like a really hard shell, the seed does. Takes a long time for it to sprout. So I put a whole bunch of Canistel seeds into the shavings, and I keep them damp every few days. I check and make sure they don't need water. So here's a seed that has not sprouted at all, but we have two that have. And it's funny because when they were a little bit younger, they looked like tiny asparagus, but now they're starting to produce leaves. So we've got two going, lots more seeds in there. But then I have a few other projects here. This one has not yet sprouted, but I think that I put sapodilla seeds in here. And I noticed when I was on a ladder in the sapodilla tree that the very top of the ladder had a lot of shells of the sapodilla seeds. And so that meant to me that there was some squirrel or something that was really liking to eat the seeds. It's not just sunflower seeds that those small animals like. So this particular contraption should keep out all those small animals because there's no space basically in between the top of the pot and this crate that I put on top of it. Got another one going on here, and this I think is soursop. Not sure. It's one of the Annonas for sure. No, it looks like it could. Yeah, we'll have to see. It looks like it's possibly sugar apple. That would be lovely. Those seeds don't look like soursop. So anyway, definitely a very high success rate with these. Both of these pots have the soil in it, not the shavings. So they also had this protection. I think it's really important, at least on my farm, to protect the seeds from those small animals. One thing I'll point out here also is that I use pots to organize things. Now this is a project from, I believe it was about a year and a half ago. I had 3 ice cream mango seedlings that I wanted to keep track of. So I put them all in the same pot, and when I went to graft them onto a large root system, I just numbered them, and that way if a graft didn't take, I would know exactly which plant to get the next scion from and graft onto the Topwork project. So for me, it's really hard to keep track of individual plants, but if I group them together, especially when it's a temporary situation like this, when I'm just wanting to harvest scions, it makes life easier. So the main thing I want to point out with sprouting seeds is just, pay attention to what works for you. This hardwood shavings has been really good for me for sprouting mango seeds and Canistel. And for the sugar apples, it looks like this particular situation right here has been really successful. Having the regular soil and then protecting it from the animals with a crate.